Hey everyone, this is Kit with Harlan's Media. We're still covering Socialism 2018 here at McCormick Place in the city of Chicago. And I'm joined here today with one of the editors of Socialist Worker. Sir, can you please introduce yourself to our viewers and subscribers?
Hi, I'm Alan Maass. I'm editor of socialistworker.org. I've been in the International Socialist Organization, which is a co-sponsor of this event for many years.
Now, this is our second year covering this event, but from what we heard from previous attendees to Socialism 2017, that they said that last year there wasn't a large turnout, but as the years keep on going, the turnout turns out to be higher and higher. There's more people attending Socialism events and Socialism work groups. What do you think is leading to the cause of more people embracing the idea of Socialism and democratic socialism?
I mean, I think the first and most obvious reason is Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign. He ran without, being concerned about using the S word, and I think that really opened up the idea of socialism, which has a rich tradition in this country, for a whole bunch of people who never really encountered it before. But I think that, his campaign would have only been possible if with the kind of radicalization that's been taking place in this country. I think since the 2008-2009 recession, the Occupy movement of 2011, all of those things are making people more aware of the idea of the gap between rich and poor in this country and wanting to do something about it. And then with the election of Trump, well, I think that everybody wants to make a stand and make it clear that they don't agree with him and they think something needs to be done about it.
Now, of course, there's a lot of political action being taken against unions and pro-union groups, especially with the decision done by the Supreme Court. Essentially, with this event happening here in the city of Chicago, will there be any kind of discussions on really how to protect unions and workers' rights, now that it seems quite clear that currently the establishment has its wind that it's always wanted?
Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be a lot of talk about that, of people who are in unions talking about what they can do to counter the new rules that will come in place as a result of the Janus decision, what it means to organize in a public sector union now at a time when the right wing is going to go after them. But I also think that one of the things you'll see here is an example of exactly how we can fight back against the right-wing assault, and that's the incredible Red State Revolt of teachers that took place throughout the winter and spring from West Virginia through to Arizona and beyond. We're going to have a plenary session on Friday night, and if anyone is able to come up to McCormick Place on Friday night, you absolutely should make it, because we're going to have representatives of all of those different struggles, as well as teachers in other states of the country, talking about the lessons of what it meant, how it was organized, what it took to go from 1 and 2 and 5 and 10 people who opposed what was taking place to hundreds, thousands of people marching through the streets of Phoenix, for example, and how they actually won. They actually pushed back a very Trumpian state legislature and made some real gains. I think that's a model, and that's the other thing that we'll be talking about.
Now, there's also concern from the Democratic side as well. For example, in New York, there was a huge significant win for democratic socialism, a big upset. But recently, one of Illinois' United States Senators, Tammy Duckworth, stated that unfortunately, those kind of policies would not work here in Illinois or in the Midwest. What do you want to say to Democrats that are at least going to challenge the notion of socialism or democratic socialism?
I can't understand why Tammy Duckworth would say something like that, because the thing that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez ran on was precisely the kind of issues that people in Illinois and New York and every state in the country are really concerned about. Medicare for all, opposing the anti-immigrant attacks, free college tuition, a whole set of things. In New York City, she talked about the gentrification and the way, in the same situation we have now, the city establishment run by Democrats, actually backs up the real estate interests that are causing more and more problems and leading to more and more displacement. I think that those issues are absolutely central to the discussion. And if Tammy Duckworth is worried about the socialism label, well, she really ought to look at what happened with Bernie Sanders' campaign. The fact that from a complete underdog position, he almost won the Democratic primary. Ocasio-Cortez, defeated the fourth most powerful Democrat in the House of Representatives. I think that that's a tremendous step forward, and shows a lot of hope for, people organizing around those issues.
All right, that's a very good note to end it on. So essentially for our viewers and listeners who perhaps want to learn more about socialistworker.org, where can we learn more about them, and where can we also find you on social media as well?
Well, I'm, that will be the place to go, is socialistworker.org. We have a Facebook page, which is /socialistworker. On Twitter, we're at Socialist Views. So those are the places to look for us. And I highly recommend people come over to socialistworker.org and check out what we have to say. We're a daily website. There's a number of other publications associated with this conference, including the International Socialist Review at isreview.org. There's jacobinmag.com, which I really recommend reading that as well. And if you're in Chicago and you can get down to the Socialism Conference, you really ought to, because it's really, it'll be amazing.
All right, thank you so much for joining Hard Lens Media. This is Kid, everyone. Peace.
You're watching Hard Lens Media.